Ready to go? All right. Welcome back to another edition of How Do We Get Here? Today, we have broken the law for the first time in How Do We Get Here? We've jumped fences and ignored signs, and we are in areas we're not allowed to be in Central Park. We are here by the lake. That's what it's called. It's just called the lake in Central Park. No bullshit. This is going to sound crazy, but it's true. I looked it up. Dug by hand. 1857. Irish and German immigrants dug this fucking shit by hand, which sounds like it took until yesterday. I don't know how long it would take to dig this deep by hand. But there's also, I'm going to whisper this part because I don't know if you can see it, but there's a lot of lovers, I would imagine, out here on the rowboats and stuff like that. So I bet we're going to get a fight today because there's just no chance. Like 10 couples are out here where the man has to be a man, and it's all going to go well. It's just, and come on, it's 2026. We're in New York City. Not every man out here is a man. And someone doesn't know how to row, and someone is going to get stuck out. And it might be this guy behind me because I hear a lot of oars rattling, and I can maybe hear some scuttlebutt about, what are you doing? How do you know how to do this? How do you know how to do this? It's a very odd thing, isn't it, that I'm whispering. It sounds weird, but like I don't know, just getting in a fight about that. Like, why aren't you a man who knows how to row a boat in this lake built by immigrants in the 19th century? But yeah, we're gonna get a fight, I imagine. I was also wondering when I sat down here, do you think in this exact spot, which is illegal, so not many people come here, do you think there have been more fish caught or grams of heroin done right here? I ask because I see both needles and fish hooks. I'm gonna guess it's heroin. I'm gonna guess it's grams of heroin. More grams of heroin have been done here than fish caught. But I also don't know how grams of heroin work. Like, if you're doing heroin, are you doing a full gram? Yeah, this guy's fucked. Come on, dude. Yeah, I don't know how much heroin someone does in a sitting. That's the normal amount. But yeah, we're here. How do we get here? Couple quick things, I guess. We got some Gruden sketches coming out. We were just down in Tampa with Gruden. Those will be coming out during football season, which I think are going to be very, 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 very funny. Gruden's the fucking man, dude. Gruden's incredible. Gruden's the best person to ever live. He's fantastic. No one asked questions about that, so I don't have any more to go into. Just the sketches will be out there, very funny. The other thing I was going to say is it's so fucking hot here. It's 1,000,000 degrees, and I'm done. I'm done with summer. I don't understand. I think it was Tampa that finally did it to me, where I was like, this heat is too much. This is oppressive. I walked out the apartment, or walked out the house we had. We stayed in Airbnb. I walked out at like 7:30 in the morning one morning, and it was 1,000,000 degrees. You got punched in the face by humidity, and I was like, you know what? That's it. I'm done with summer. I went to Martha's Vineyard last week, or 2 weeks ago, and that's the end of my summer. That was my last summer vacation. So now, selfishly, I am done with the sun, and I am done with the heat, so therefore everyone has to be done with it. When I was on the Vineyard, I go to the Vineyard a lot. I spent a lot of time going to Martha's Vineyard growing up as a kid. I always compare it. It's very different. You don't know it. Obviously, if you're from Massachusetts, you know what it is. But if you're not from Massachusetts, it's similar to Nantucket. It's an island. It's I guess an island that people go to. But I think they're very, very different islands. And I always preferred the Vineyard. And the comparison I give between the two of them is Nantucket. People like to be seen. People who like to be seen go to Nantucket, in my opinion. The Vineyard is more for like your weird artsy aunt, where you're like, who are these people? Whatever. It's a weird vibe. It's always like, it's a fun vibe, but a weird vibe. However, this year I went, and obviously being from Massachusetts, these are mostly white islands, very largely speaking. But Martha's Vineyard, where I spent time going, very black. It's Oak Bluffs, Martha's Vineyard. My parents used to have a house there. It's a very strong black community and has been forever. Oak Bluffs was the first town, I believe in Massachusetts, but maybe in the country, who didn't abide by Jim Crow laws. They sold property to black people. So that's why there's a rich history of black culture in Oak Bluffs. And it's always been that way. But it's still largely been white people. But this trip, I swear to God, the island was 60-40 black people to white people. And that's, I think, because of the Obamas. The Obamas have very much embraced Martha's Vineyard because of that Jim Crow tradition I was talking about. But I think because the Obamas embraced it so much, it has now become like a tourist destination for black people. And, dude, let's say it was 50-50. The vibe on the island is 100 out of 100. It is amazing. And I was thinking about why it's so much fun and why it's so cool. And I think what it is black people are going and they're like, okay, I'm going to Martha's Vineyard. I'm going to tolerate a certain amount of white shit. You know what I mean? Like they know what they're getting into. And the white people go and they're like, ooh, black people are here. I get to be a little black. And it just comes together in this beautiful multicultural pot. And it was so much fun. And then I was thinking about it more and I was wondering like the way black guys in particular were like embracing, like you know what I mean? Like popping on Sperry's and shit like that. And I think that, this is all made up in my head, I think that black people, black guys in particular, black guys look at white culture the same way white guys look at gay culture, where you're hesitant to jump in because you're like, what are your intentions here? But then once you understand and embrace the situation, you're having the most fucking fun you've ever had in your life. I think that's what was happening. I've thought a lot about it. Like I said, it was 2 weeks ago. I think that's what was happening. Like on the beach, like you just have respect for each other, right? Like on the beach, you know, people are turning down their Morgan Wallen. They're not blasting it. Black people, they're not talking speakerphone on the beach. I'm just kidding. That part's not true. They were talking speakerphone on the beach a lot. there were. I went to the beach 3 days in a row. Every day I'd be at the beach, and it would feel like I was like, you know, like a superhero movie when the superhero's like getting oversensed by his powers and overwhelmed, and he's like, I don't know what's going on. I would be like that with like 6 different speakerphone conversations going around. I didn't say shit. I didn't say a fucking thing, and I never would, and I never will. But it was like, God, there's a lot of. I had like 6 different conversations coming into here at one point. It was very confusing. But yeah, it was a great time and it was really cool, really fun. Had a blast. That's that. Now I think we will move on to, actually, I'm gonna check my notes real quick to see if I have anything I'd like to say before I get to your questions. Oh, thank you. Are these the questions? Yeah, okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna hammer through some things here. Dolly Parton in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Dolly Parton just died, R.I.P., the GOAT, one of the all-time bests. But I was reading some stories about her and some things, and one that struck me was the most badass thing in the world. Dolly Parton, in 2022, was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. If you don't know about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, there is some controversy over who gets in and who doesn't, be they rock stars or not. There's not many rappers in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. People point to that. I think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame says, well, they're not rockers, so they don't get to come in, yada, yada, yada. Dolly gets inducted, or Dolly gets nominated, and Dolly says, take me out. I'm not a rock and roll person. I don't do rock and roll. Take me out. I do not want to be nominated. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame said, tough titties, Dolly. You're going in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because you're fucking Dolly Parton. And Dolly said, well, in that case, then I have to earn the honor. And her 49th studio album, she made a rock and roll album. I believe it was her last album ever. It's called Rockstar. Joan Jett's on it, fucking Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, got all the big dogs out. And I just think that's so badass that she's like, if you're putting me in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I'm making a rock and roll album at like 78 or whatever the fuck she was then. Okay, gonna keep ripping through things here. The McAfee album came out. I didn't listen to any of it. I have no opinion on the music itself, but the situation as a whole, it strikes me that Pat McAfee's entered Tim Tebow territory, where if you were a little older and you remember Tebow in his day, he was just doing everything. He was doing every opportunity afforded to him. And it's hard to say no to that, right? Like people were making fun of Tebow, fucking, I think he was tight end on the Pats, then he played fucking, I don't know if he played first or third, but I'm guessing it was one of those two for the Mets. He's at training camp for them, and everyone's like, dude, this is fucking bullshit. Like, you're not good. Why is he getting the opportunities? He's getting the opportunities because he's Tim Tebow. I think Pat McAfee's just in that now, where he's allowed to do whatever he wants because he's such a massive name, and no one says no, and no one tells him to say no. And I get how it's probably hard to say no to something you wanted to do your whole life, but also, I don't know, sometimes that's not for you, dude. Sometimes just, you have to say no, I guess. But yeah, now we will move on to our questions from our viewers. We got a lot of surviving up top here. Has the blood dried yet on the knife you plunged into Dante's back? This is from Bernie Lomax. The blood has dried. Dante and I are fine. But I will be honest. I guess I was mildly affected by him not sticking his hand out and not doing the shake. But then I was furious. I was the maddest I've been in a long time. I was so mad. I was acting out of character quite a bit. But I was very angry about it because it was so stupid. and I really don't like dumb stuff. It makes me feel dumb, and it bothers me a lot. And he was taking Surviving Barstool to a level that I didn't respect. He was taking it too seriously, so I didn't respect that. So therefore, I was just explaining this on Out and About. When I don't respect something, I start listing all the other things about you I don't respect, and I'm just trying to goad you into a fight. And I was very, very mean to Dante. So I apologize for that, but I also don't, because fuck you. You don't get to take stuff seriously when it's a game. I constantly reminded Dante this throughout the game, where I was like, dude, getting mad about this game is so stupid and so such an infant response, that the comparison I was making was, it's like if you're getting mad that the pitcher threw too fast in a baseball game. Like, it's just that we're playing a game, the person played it better than you. You can't really get angry about it. And his anger really bothered me, really pissed me off, because he wouldn't talk to me. And that was so childish that it really, really made me mad. To the point, at one point, I said to him, one of two things is happening tonight. Either you're going to talk to me or I'm going to punch you in the fucking mouth. And he, to his credit, waited defiantly long to talk to me. I thought that was going to fix things right away, and he was going to go, okay, sorry, fine, whatever. He did wait like an hour or two before we started talking. But it really, that pissed me off. But as far as, yeah, we're totally fine. With you now being eliminated from Surviving Barstool, would you have done something different? Maybe agree to take with whoever goes to Tribal next, gets the immunity idol, and use it at Tribal. This is from Mid-Hat. I'm sorry. Oh, you gave me a pronunciation. Thank you. It's Meetot. Shout out Meetot. I didn't watch the episode. I didn't watch. I watched the first two, and I thought maybe I'd gotten past this, because I can watch myself with Pavs. I can watch myself with sketches. I can watch myself with mascots. And I think that's because I'm like trying to do something, and I can see if I'm doing it well or if I'm not doing it well, so I can just assess it as like, you know, a third party. I can zoom out and just be like, okay, I see what you're trying to do, but you're not doing it well. When it's just a video of me being me, I fucking dislike myself so much. I thought I was past it. I am not. I really don't like seeing myself. Every time I come on screen, I'm like, this fucking idiot, get this fucking moron off screen, this goofy doofus smile. I get very bad. So I haven't seen too much of how it was framed, but what I've heard is that the edit makes it seem like I ripped it up because it was Tate. I don't think that was true. I don't think that's why I did it. I don't remember very clearly, but I'm like 99.99999% sure I ripped it up before I knew who had it. And my thinking on this, I'll explain to you, because Kirk texted me about it, and he was like, you're a fucking idiot, you got to play that idol. And I explained to him my thinking, and he was like, okay, there actually sound thinking there. I wasn't just playing like an asshole, kind of, but my thinking was, when I found that idol, Dante was with me. And I voted him out 10 minutes later. And we all have phones, we all text throughout the show, so I knew he was going to tell everybody right away that everyone will know I have half the idol. So that right there loses a big step. Second of all, the mission was too confusing. I was very, very, I was like, why would I give an idol to somebody, or why would I want someone to know I have an idol? It didn't make sense to me. And Tommy, who was on my side at the time, was kind of in agreement. He's like, yeah, this is a bad idol. This is a bad mission. So my thought process was, if I can't use this because of the Dante stuff, because of my own dumb brain, then my best bet is to use it as a team bonding thing. So I called everyone together, and I was like, yo, that's my only strategy the whole game, is get other people to not play. Like, my only thing I can do is, like, I try and make it as hard as fucking possible for you to write my name down. And I said this on Out and About, but I feel like I threw that pitch 110. It's just that Tommy and Brandon Walker put it on fucking Lansdowne. But I feel like I pitched it really hard. I threw that ball hard. So that was my thinking, was shore up this team, shore up this relationship, let everyone know I'm the fucking guy, I'm in the trenches with them, I'm in the bunker with them. And it didn't work. But I do think that was my best play with the tools I have available, being my brain and the fact that Dante knew. Are you frustrated Rowan and Tommy did you dirty? No. I honestly, God, I don't even think either of them did me dirty. Neither of us we didn't have an alliance. Brandon, I guess, did me mildly dirty. We did have an alliance. But I don't know. I don't respect taking it too seriously. Ask Dante about it. Was it awkward at all after surviving to film Apartment Contact with Rowan and Tommy? Also, what's your most rewatchable TV series? Again, no, it's not awkward. I haven't watched. People keep like saying that. I haven't watched. Maybe people are motherfucking me in confessionals or something. But no, I haven't found it awkward. And to be completely frank, that's part of the reason. The day before I got voted out, Pat was certainly pushing to go Rowan, and I was fine to go Rowan. But then once people said no, I just make it okay in my own head. Like, oh, why should it be no? And no, I was avoiding. I definitely was trying to avoid awkward moments. Like for sure when it might have been Roan, like for sure in my mind was like, okay, like we have a new show together, that could be awkward. So yeah, it's not awkward. It is not. But that is the question. That's from Anonymous. And Kim C also asked if I was mad they did Dirty. But from Anonymous, no, there is no awkwardness. But like I definitely played that way. I play to, this job is more important to me than $125,000. So I play to not make things awkward at work. That's kind of how I go. I think the most alarming part of this Surviving episode wasn't you being voted out. It was Brandon Walker saying, I don't know if Fights cuts up on the weekends, when talking about why the other team is better at bar games. I know those days are gone. And I'm super proud of you. I'm super proud of who you've become. I mean that. Fucking hell, that was really nice, Holden. I do think I'm the same person still, though. Brandon has no idea who the old Feitelberg was. Hey, guys. How you doing? Good? Yeah. They're getting a fight. Yeah, I assume Brandon knows who I was. I assume Brandon knows I used to cut up on the weekends. He says, I don't know if Fights cuts up on the weekends. I would assume that means Brandon's talking about anymore. I would have a good guess. Brandon knows I can throw him back with just about fucking anybody. And then finally, if the cast of Always Sunny, The Office, and New Girl played Survivor, who do you think would win and why? Boy, that's a good question. It's 100% from someone from Sunny. It is a no-brainer. Maybe Schmidt from New Girl could get in there. I think it's Frank. There's a whole episode of Sunny talking about how Frank's the best manipulator of all time. One of my favorite lines in the series. Mac is spray painting Frank's chair gold, so it looks like a throne. And Mac's spray painting it, and he's catching the fumes. And he's like, Frank, you're such a good manipulator. Can you teach me how? And Frank says, I sure can. Finish painting that chair. Love that line. For that reason, I think Frank would be the winner of Always Sunny. He has the power, the age, the money, the charisma. Yeah, I think it's Frank Reynolds, no brainer. Okay, rest of the questions now. We're gonna hammer through these. This is fun. I really like doing the show with you guys. That was from Danielle. Thank you for the question. Well, honestly, there was a time when this show, Paz and I were just talking about it on the subway, that like originally maybe I had a different idea of where like an episode was going to be one theme and I was going to have like this whole prep and this whole fucking story and this long thing, like a long form, like a think piece type deal. And then we realized we just don't have the time to do that kind of thing. And then we were kind of like, we don't really know what the show's going to be. And I really like this variation of it. I really like fans ending, because I don't need to talk. I don't need to tell you my stupid stories about going to Martha's Vineyard and shit like that. I just need to tell you what you need to know. And the easiest way to do that is get your questions. So I'm really, really thankful. We've been overwhelmed with questions every single time. Every single time I post it, I'm like, they're not going to ask any questions, because who the fuck would ask me questions? And every single time we have a million questions, and I really, really enjoy it. So thank you, and please keep sending them in. We'll put in a link right here, and you can click it and add them now. But then the week we film, I always put out a YouTube and an Instagram. But anyway, rest of the questions. You seem like a good hang. Did you get an invite to camp from Sean? I did not. I did not get an invite to camp. I think Rico's the only one from New York who ever goes. Easy question, easy answer. For the rest of your life, you can only watch 3 directors' movies. Which 3 directors are you picking? That's a hard question. Nolan. You got to go Nolan off the top. He has an unbelievable body of work, and he's not crazy old. I think he's like mid-50s, maybe early 60s, late 50s probably. But he's got a couple more fucking heaters in the system. So Nolan is one, and after that, it gets hard. Scorsese is a maybe for sure. Spielberg, I like his movies, but if I can only get 3, he's not on the list. I might have a weird list. I might have a list people not gonna like. I think I'm gonna put Matt Johnson on it. I'm a Matt Johnson fucking head. I am a Matt Johnson super fan. For real, some of my favorite movies of the last few years, Matt Johnson directed. Tony, Blackberry, Nirvana the band, The Show. I didn't like the movie as much, but The Show I think is insanely good. If you're a Sunny fan, Nirvana the band, The Show is on Hulu now. Go watch it. There are 2 seasons. I think it's 8 episodes per season, half hour each. Easy watch. But it's incredible. It's very Sunny energy. Really interestingly done. The way they kind of blend reality and scripted. It's kind of inspired us to do some stuff that we're thinking about. It's amazing. So I honest to God, I think Matt Johnson would be on that list. So I'm going to go, I'll do that. I'll go Nolan, Matt Johnson. That's our top 2. And then for 3 is really hard because David Fincher, definitely on the list. It's probably Fincher. Antoine Fuqua. Antoine Fuqua has a lot of my favorite fucking movies, dude. Antoine Fuqua has got all the Equalizers. He's got, I think he does all the Fallons. He definitely did Olympus Has Fallen. I think he does the other ones as well. Shooter, Training Day, obviously. Magnificent Seven's not one of my favorites, but that's on there. Like, Fuqua movies, I watch a fucking lot. Also, if we're talking about it, fucking Olivia Wilde. I think Olivia Wilde's fantastic. I really, really like The Invite. I really, really like Booksmart. I haven't seen Don't Worry, Darling, but Olivia Wilde's kind of in there. I'm trying to think who else there would be. I'm gonna go Fincher. That's the easy answer. Why didn't you jump in and beat that bum's ass? In the beginning of the video, I was thinking, oh, I hope Fights is there. And here you come with what might as well have been a bucket of popcorn and a soda. All that was missing was a recliner from Boone. The answer to that is I did watch it. I saw the video Dave posted. And I didn't even know I came out that early, quote unquote. I did see the video. I was like, damn, it doesn't look like you're doing much here. I will say, in defense of myself and pretty much everyone else in that video, when the video starts, the game's done. You know, like, so I'll paint you my picture here. So one thing at Barstool Sports that is not unique and not out of the ordinary is people screaming. So you hear people screaming, and I don't flinch. I'm like, that's Frank. That's fucking, I don't know, anybody fighting. I don't know. It is a very normal thing. It's a sketch maybe we're doing. No one really thought we were in a real situation. And no one thought anything was happening. We just figured one of us is being an asshole like we always are. So I heard it. I kind of looked up, just looked back at my desk or whoever's desk I was sitting at because I don't have a desk. But I looked up and kind of just like went back to my day. And then, you know, a couple people started walking a little briskly. And you're kind of like looking around, like, what is happening over there? And then I don't remember how word got that there's a legitimate fight. So I was pretty close to behind Tommy, which the funniest part of the Tommy clip, aside from the running away, is that long before, like as long as this rock, like long before we get to the lobby, there's a wall. And Tommy was already hugging the wall the whole way. He had his hand out, I was behind him laughing out loud because I was like, what is he doing? Like it looked like a fucking SEAL team member, kind of like, you know, I don't know any of the terminology, but you know what I mean? Like fucking covering the wall. And that gave me a good laugh. But when we, or at least when I finally turned the corner, the situation wasn't over by any means, but 5 people were on top of the guy. And it was just a guy pinned down going, I can't breathe. And I tell you what, you hear someone yelling that, you're like, well, I'm not getting involved in this fucking shit, dude. Seems like everyone's got control of the situation, and if someone can't breathe, I'm getting the fuck out of here because I know how that game goes. Yeah, it was, I did notice, I saw the video, I did notice myself, I did notice everyone else. There wasn't anything to do as far as going into that room. That room was more like, give them space, give them time to breathe. It was Gaz, Cody, Travi, Dan. It might have been someone else too, but they had him pinned down. He wasn't moving, and I guess in retrospect, I'm thinking like, do I go in there and tap someone out and be like, hey, if you want to switch, we can switch. But I think that just kind of frees up a leg, so you wouldn't do something like that. So yeah, I was kind of just watching, and then it did go on for so long that it got sad and weird, and that's probably when me and Sam Martin left. Where it was just like, okay, now we just have a guy pinned down in here, and it's just a little uncomfortable and weird, and it's like a dude pinned with 20 people watching him. I can't say I know what I would have done. I like to think I would have pulled the gas and grabbed him, but by the time I got there, the situation was under control to an extent. Okay, but thank you for the question, Boone. I apologize. I like to think I would have fucking kicked the guy in the teeth and ripped him down. Who knows what I would have done, but I just thought it was Frank the Tank mad about something. I'm just gonna hammer through him. Yeah? Okay. There's a lot of men with red hair who can pass as having brown hair, and I think you're one of them. I despise when people with this ambiguous red-brown hair color refuse to admit that they are a redhead, are defensive, or worse, are offended at the thought of having red hair. I want to hear your thoughts on why men seem to not accept the reality of having red hair when I don't find this to be an issue with women with red hair. Do you think you're a redhead, or do you think you have brown hair? If you don't think you're a redhead, this might be a losing battle. This is from Nat. Nat, I think I can answer this for you. I think that men who are born redheads are probably comfortable to admit they are redheads. I was not born one. I'm not uncomfortable with being a redhead. But I would say I'm someone like that you're talking about in the second half of this question, who like, I would not call myself a redhead. If someone asked me what color hair I have, I don't even know what I'd say. I guess I'd say blonde, because that's what I grew up. I grew up as a baby and boy and young man. I think into high school, college, I had blonde hair, and now it is absolutely a different color. My beard is 100% red. I do still see mostly blonde when I look at my hair, and that's probably to answer your question. That's probably because it's just what I'm used to seeing, and that's what I'm used to saying. It's just repetition. I'm not offended by the idea. I actually like the idea of it. It's just not something I think of saying. On a similar note, I love Ed Sheeran. Someone asked me my favorite musician, I never think to say Ed Sheeran. That's kind of how my hair is. Okay, I gotta start going faster here. If you could steal any actor's entire resume and have played all of their roles, whose career would you want? No brainer, Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell's the fucking dude. Colin Farrell can do fucking anything. Colin Farrell can do comedy. Colin Farrell can do action. Colin Farrell can do drama. Colin Farrell can and does do it all. I think a lot of people can do it all and they don't do it all. Colin Farrell's he'll do weird shit like fucking killing of a sacred deer. He'll do anything. Like, there are so few people who can star in both SWAT and like artsy weird shit. Or there are a lot of people who can do both. There are few who do both. And I think Colin Farrell's perfect. I think Colin Farrell does everything. He's like, I want to do it all. I can do it all. Give me the fucking role. I want to go do it. That is no-brainer, Colin Farrell. Okay, so Paz just told me we have time for one more question, and there are a lot of good questions left. So we're going to come back to a lot of them. Bailey, this is a longer one, so we're going to come back to you. Bailey's got a great KFC radio throwback question. Who else we got here? Torben, who is an actor who you would love to have on your show but would feel too uncomfortable with them, and why? Nobody. Truly nobody. I will be uncomfortable with all of them, but I'm not too uncomfortable to have them on. I've gotten good at. I just walked through the fire. What age is okay to stop fighting the good fight? We're gonna get to that one. That's a longer one. The answer to that's never. Fights you dress way too well to be as aw shucks about it as you are. What a great question. Let's end on that. No, I'm kidding. There's more question. One, where do you get your fashion inspo? One is my family. I have more questions for that, but I grew up in a family that cared about clothes. My Uncle Polak, my Uncle Shark, my mom, my aunts, everyone, my grandfathers, both of them, my grandmothers, oh my God. My grandmother went out everywhere looking like the dictator's wife from some third world country. She was dressed to the nines every single time. So I just grew up in a family that cared about clothes. I think it's actually weird. I think all of my siblings, all four of us, have worked in fashion at some level. You're counting, like, I'm counting Sad Boy Season merch and Sad as the Boy merch, obviously. But both of my brother and my sister have both started companies. My other sister has worked at Vineyard Vines as long as I've worked at Barstool. We just grew up in a family that cared about clothes, which is the easy answer there. But a better answer, where you get your fashion inspo, if you're asking for help, Trevor, the easiest answer I've ever heard is pick a TV character. Pick a TV character who you feel represents you. And be honest with yourself. Don't fucking like, a TV character, well, the coolest, hottest one. Like, be honest with yourself. Who acts like me, who looks like me, who dresses in a way I could dress, like who has a similar vibe to me, and then dress like them. Because if you're trying to base it off models or shit you see on the internet, on like websites where you buy clothes, those are models dressed in clothes. That's not how real life people wear clothes. So look at a TV character, look at a movie character, find someone who is like you, who you think that style, that vibe fits you, and just kind of dress like them. That's the advice I always give whenever people ask where fashion inspiration comes from. Or throwing fits. Shout out the boys Larry and James. Throwing fits is a great resource. And that's it, right? That's it. That's all we're going to go to do. Actually, I'm gonna answer this last one quick. Because this is the very last one. Okay, so I skipped the two that I said I will come back to. That was from Bailey and Itfi. The last one, no judgment, out of 365 days a year, how many of those days do you shower? People's answers to this question have been both shocking and a little disturbing. I'm going to answer this because a funny situation happened. I shower a lot. I'm a big shower. Probably twice a day, maybe 3 times a day in the summer. If I'm changing clothes or if I'm changing what I'm doing, I shower. It's just kind of like a fresh new me, you know? So like I wake up in the morning, go to the gym, then I shower. If it's a Saturday and we hang out and then we come back home, I'm a shower before we go to dinner. Like I just like to take, these guys are going nuts. But the answer to the question is, I would say almost 100% of the days I shower twice. I shower in the morning and I shower in the evening. And I say all that to say, my girlfriend recently told me it grosses her out how much I use soap. Not how much I use it. The amount of soap I use grosses her out because she notices her like bars going away much faster, or the bottles of body lotion going away much faster. And I was like, dude, I'm twice your size and I shower twice a day. the soap doesn't go away at the same level it used to go away when you just showered alone in your own fucking shower. But the fact that it grosses her out made me laugh and hurt my feelings a little bit. But yeah, I would say you can pretty much set your watch to I'm gonna shower twice a day. And that's it. Please get in your questions. I think we're going to have a couple links up here throughout the episode. We'll have the link in the description, obviously, for the Google Doc. And thank you for the questions. There are a couple of them we're going to come back to. But aside from that, thank you very much for everyone for watching, for contributing, for following along. I love you all very much. Thank you. Goodbye.